Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got a ton of new stuff to go over for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. We've got some really cool DLC rumors to take a look at for the Generation 9 games and a few other bits and bobs to cover as well. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we have this theory/rumor here from Light talking about how the Eternal Floette could make its way into the DLC. Of course, there has been a lot of hints towards like Eternal Floette, the whole Kalos situation, and Eternal Floette being a paradox Pokemon of Floette. Either way, this is a really cool theory, so shout out to Light. They're saying, theory time, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Area Zero would serve to answer a mystery of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. The 3,000-year-old King AZ and his Floette are still a mystery, but this area of the new game in the saga could explain them or could make us ask more questions. So AZ used to have a Floette. It was a gift from his mother, which I didn't know. I don't know where they got that information from. I didn't realize it was a gift of his mother. I don't know if it was like in fine print in like a text box or something. But either way, apparently he got the gift from his mother. This Floette was very special, was holding a flower called the Eternal Flower, and the stats were highly better than a normal Floette with different colors and Light of Ruin move. Is this Floette maybe a Paradox Pokemon / Area Zero Floette? I mean, it makes sense just from the fact that, you know, these Paradox forms do have something like a name before their name, like with, I don't know, like Iron Treads, for example. For Donphan, it'd be like Eternal Flower for the Floette, and of course the stats are boosted as well, and we've never been able to get the Floette either, and they're boosted by a lot as well, like the 125 special attack, the 128 special defense, massive jump from the 75 special attack and the 98 special defense. So there might have been a reason that we never got access to this Eternal Flower Floette, and that might be because they were saving it for this game. Maybe they always knew about Paldea when they were designing Kalos, and so they decided to wait for then. Because it doesn't really make sense the fact that we never got it. But either way, or could this Floette hold a Herba Mystica instead? The move Light of Ruin seems very similar when the Titans eat the Herba Mystica and got the aura to get bigger and stronger. Also remember, there are Floettes in Area Zero, which again also adds to the idea that maybe deeper down into Area Zero, there could potentially be Eternal Floettes, because there's already Floettes, you know, like at the top of Area Zero. Floette died in a war raging in the Kalos region in those days. In order to bring back his dear friend, AZ used a machine created by him. That experiment was a success and Floette came back to life. That weapon is seen to be made by crystal and the energy was manipulated, which again, a lot of people are thinking that this weapon could have actually created Area Zero when it kind of like fired off. Remember, that weapon could bring life and take the life, also absorbing the energy of the perished Pokemon. Disgusted by his use of the ultimate weapon, Floette abandoned him, and so AZ began to wander aimlessly through the region, grieving the loss of his partner Pokemon. But where AZ took the materials to create this weapon? Did he discover the Area Zero while looking for a solution to revive his best and only friend? Did he find the energy inside of what we know now as Lab Zero? So yeah, originally, like, this weapon could have also not created Area Zero, and in fact, AZ could have found this Area Zero like thing deep inside and then used that to create the secret weapon. The theory that AZ lived for some time in the Area Zero can take strength by thinking that maybe he used to eat Herba Mystica while he was investigating the power of the energy that came from the creator of Paldea. Also, AZ is almost 3 meters tall and immortal. And of course, the Area Zero was home to wondrous herbs and instantly impact Vigo when eaten. We dubbed them Herba Mystica and attempted to grow some in areas around Paldea. However, before we could harvest, the herbs were eaten by Pokemon, which in turn grew large and yeah, so obviously there's got to be a reason that AZ is so massive in Pokemon. I mean, look at his hands compared to the size of a Pokeball. And again, he is immortal as well, apparently. So again, that's another thing that Herba Mystica apparently gives you the benefit of. But remember that AZ had a Torkoal in his team and is based on the Eldarbrug giant tortoise, living over 165 years. Remember where we arrived to the second lab in the Area Zero? There was a book that said, we've determined that this energy crystallization is linked to the being we called, which again, we don't know what it's called, but in the game they kind of know what it is called. The interlocking hexagonal plates that comprise this Pokemon shell must somehow cause this phenomena, which I've dubbed terrestrializing. Is this a hint that is a crystal turtle? Again, we're all kind of convinced that the third legendary is behind the whole kind of idea that the third legendary is behind terrestrialization. Is it possible that AZ also had a Torkoal in honor to this third legendary Pokemon? Is it possible that AZ put that name in honor of the Area Zero, where thanks to the third legendary and the ultimate weapon, he managed to bring Floette back to life? Time will say or not. So I'm not sure about like the second part of the theory, but the top part of the theory I definitely think is true. I mean, there's just so many links to like Floette being a Paradox Pokemon, and again, I didn't realize the stats were so much better as well. And of course, we know how much of an increase the stats are for Paradox Pokemon compared to their like previous, like to their other forms and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I would love for Eternal Flower to be Eternal Flower Floette to be a Paradox Pokemon that we could catch in Area Zero, like deeper down into the DLC. We'll have to wait and see, but I would really like that idea. But again, we might not even be going back to Kalos, but there could still be Kalos kind of hints in the DLC, and this could be one of them. Either way though, that's something. We're also moving on to this theory here. So this was a really cool connection made by Cydonia. If you haven't seen their video, you should definitely go check it out. They made some really cool kind of comparisons and stuff, and a mind-bending connection from the internet that I saw from Cydonia. I'm just going to leave this here for you to theorize on. These symbols are such a mystery. Could be a coincidence, but it's very curious how this one symbol lines up with the Runeus seals. So again, this is the symbol they're talking about here, which is obviously in Area Zero. And then on the map, this actually lines up with the kind of locations of the 4 legendary Pokemon. I think this might be more of a coincidence, just because I think these kind of symbols are more or less for, like, I don't know, maybe the 3rd legendary or something deeper into Area Zero. I think it's just a kind of coincidence to kind of line up on the map. Although it could be like the fact that, you know, these are behind seals and stuff, so it could also be about that. I'm not really too sure, but again, personally, I don't think that is going to be the case. Soul Silver also saying, as many people have noted, this symbol doesn't line up perfectly, and Cydonia was making a case that this theory is flawed, but I wanted to share it anyway because it's a very interesting take. I also left it open for you to theorize, not saying if I believed it or not. So yeah, I think it's a really cool idea that they do kind of like link up and match and stuff, but at the same time, I think it is a little bit far-fetched. I think these symbols, because these symbols are also spoken about in like the books, like the Scarlet and the Violet book, and again, the 4 legendaries aren't anything to do with those books, so I think this is something to do with potentially the 3rd book that again has been leaked to be in the DLC. Speaking of the 3rd book as well, we have this from Legendary Crimson saying, after watching Cydonia's video on Area Zero, this is what I think the DLC will be based around. So there will be another part to Area Zero that can be accessed through the tablet you find at the bottom. There might also be a 3rd book written by Heath detailing this secret area. So this is a really cool idea, how like we have these kind of like symbols and stuff here. There's kind of like, I guess, links between like the book and these different symbols and stuff. But I you know, really cool saying, if I post this now, do you get what I mean? He's obviously posting the 3 love hearts here. This is really cool though, being like Area Zero and then the kind of intersection area and then the hidden DLC area, because there's also an elevator as well that we can't go in, which could also lead us down further into Area Zero, and I feel like that has been left in there on purpose. And again, this 3rd book, I personally, I think he's going to be down there in the bottom of the DLC. He's going to be there with the 3rd legendary. He's going to be there with his 3rd book. I think he's going to have like Paradox Suicune or Virizion on his team potentially, and then like some other Paradox forms and stuff. I think that's going to be what happens, because I think Heath is going to be the antagonist, but at the same time, Greta could also be the antagonist as well. But either way, Legendary Crimson goes on to say, and to further support the existence of another book, Ku did say this when the Scarlet and Violet books were first revealed. The Scarlet/Violet books details about Area Zero, while this other book details the DLC area. So he said, well, they finally mentioned that book. Remember, you need to find those 3. So there's the Scarlet book, there's the Violet book, and then there's a 3rd book as well, which again, a lot of people believe is going to be like something else, that because Heath wrote them all, obviously version exclusive, like Scarlet book for Scarlet and Violet book for Violet. So there's technically 3 books, but in like a game there'd only be 2 books, because obviously you're not going to have the Scarlet book in Pokemon Violet. But either way, yeah, so there's the idea that he's also down in Area Zero and he's wrote this 3rd book, and again, that could have a lot more information about the deeper parts of Area Zero. And you know, looking at Gita's peculiar design and partner Pokemon that's closely related to Terrestrial and Area Zero, could she be from Area Zero or the hidden part to it? Could even have like Gita being like Heath's daughter or something. That wouldn't even be too far-fetched. Like, we literally had death in Pokemon. Like, we don't usually have that. Like an actual like parent dying and stuff. So the idea that Gita could be Heath's daughter, and like maybe Heath is evil and he was trying to create this world, and like before he died, maybe like he told Gita to carry on or something like that. So maybe she's just following in her father's footsteps. You never know. But either way, some really cool theories here, and I think this definitely adds up with Area Zero. And again, this could also be something that we see in the DLC as well. They could really do anything, but there's some really cool rumors and theories here regardless. But either way, that is going to be everything for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really does help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me, though. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.